What's up, everybody? This is your boy, Mr. Tactical, formerly known as True Deuces, coming to you from the best YouTube channel, Justice Law. I'm actually at the Pig in Door, Alabama, currently the best town in Walker County, Alabama. Last video, I told you that I was going to touch on drones when it comes to police equipment and how they can help. So, brought this little guy along with me today. This is the Mavic 2 Zoom, if that'll actually focus. The special thing about it, it has a zoom in lens. I think it zooms in up to 48 millimeters, and it's compact. Mine actually has aftermarket propellers. These are low noise propellers, so you can kind of be hovering over people and they not know you're even there. But a lot of people know about DJI, but if you don't, these are sensors in the front that keeps you from running into stuff as long as you have it on safe mode. It actually has sensors all the way around it, which is something that separates DJI drones, this one in particular, from other drones. There's all kinds of drones that are bigger, smaller, but this is the drone that I like the most as far as it's being compact like this, to where you can put it in a backpack and just bring it with you anywhere you go. And the capabilities it has, like the zoom in lens, and I just like the design of it over the other drones. So that's the Mavic Zoom 2. Like I said, they make several others. I have other drones, but that's my favorite. You need to know the laws when it comes to these, though, before you just go out and buy them and fly them. You are supposed to be licensed through the FFA in order to fly a drone over a certain amount of weight. However, you can get drones that don't weigh as much as this one, that you don't have to be licensed for because they don't weigh as much, and they have the same capabilities. They're technically racing drones, but they have now started making racing drones with GPS, just like this one has. That's the main thing that's important about this one. If you lose it, you can probably more likely find it through the GPS capabilities. But now they have racing drones that weigh less than this one with GPS. Has basically all the same features. They're not able to zoom in, but they have all the same features as most Mavic or DJI drones. They just don't weigh as much. So it kind of, in my opinion, is a redundant rule that you have to be licensed to get one that weighs a certain amount when you can get drones that don't weigh as much. You know, and you don't have to have a license for it. So why would you go out and buy something like this and then go through the trouble of paying for a license, paying for the classes, taking the test, and hoping you pass the test, then still having to wait to get your license in the mail? But nevertheless, these are good drones. They fly really well. DJI makes a good product, but there's cheaper alternatives out there, and there's alternatives out there to where you don't have to have a license. So that's that. But the reason I brought that up, like I was saying in the last video, drones, in my opinion, are the main future point of law enforcement. Dogs are great, but if you're looking for somebody in the woods at nighttime and you had a drone with infrared, like DJI makes a drone that looks just like this one, but it's called a DJI, or it looks almost identical to this one, and it's called a DJI Enterprise, but this one's called a Mavic Zoom. They make the Enterprise that has an infrared camera on it that can detect body heat. And if somebody's in the woods and you're looking for them, that's going to be the easiest way by far. You can see, with the drone, you can see a whole section of woods. If you're walking through the woods with a dog, you got to hope your dog picks up on the trail, for one thing. And if he does, you know, you're limited on what you can see and do, especially at nighttime. But the drone, you're in the air, you can see so much more. I mean, I can put this drone in the air and see almost half of the town that I patrol. But That's my whole thing. To me, it's a no-brainer, common sense thing that we should already be using drones in law enforcement a lot more than we do. Each department, in my opinion, should have at least one drone, one very good drone that's functional, and should have at least one drone operator, if somebody knows what they're doing. But to me, that's, like I said, that's common sense. It amazes me that down south, for the most part, most departments haven't caught on to the fact that it's so much easier to use a drone to do police work. And I touched on the last video, officers need more training. I feel that in my heart tremendously. I know I wouldn't detail about the last video, so I ain't gonna get all right up about it again, but I really wish departments such as mine and others would just let two officers get together on the clock so they get paid for it, give them a little incentive, and just work out scenarios on each other. It'd be so much, it's so easy. It's free, for one thing. It's free training. You and another officer, you can get a sim gun or just even a fake gun. Anything at all is better than nothing when it comes to training. And y'all can walk through scenarios. You can walk up to the car and the other officer could be pretending to be a pregnant woman, or somebody don't speak English, or somebody don't want to go back to jail or prison. You know, you handle that situation. You practice on handling that situation accordingly. And everybody knows practice makes perfect. So once again, to me, that's a no-brainer thing that we all could do to get better. And I mean, if we get better at our jobs, that gives the public one less reason to look at us sideways. So with all that being said, that's going to bring me to point number 3. And that is, what's that? Oh, what is this? Yeah, this is a muscle. Yeah, and I ain't trying to brag, but the gym is that way. So I've started back working out. When I got back into law enforcement, I lost some weight, which I've never been a big guy, and I'm still not, but I've never really been athletic. Or I was athletic, fast and everything, I could run, but I've never been like a built guy for the most part. I've always had enough muscle on me to, be cut up, but I've never had like bulging muscles. But here lately, I watched that video of the Atlanta shooting with a cop shot the guy that shot the taser at him at the Wendy's in Atlanta. And to me, being a cop and seeing that guy beat up 2 cops and then basically start to outrun them, and then them having to use deadly force when he turned and shot the taser towards the cop's face. I mean, I'm not going to argue with nobody whether that was justified or not. That's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is all that could have been avoided had they had enough muscle about themselves to hold the man down in the first place. I'd rather them punch him or choke, whatever. Don't choke him to death, of course, but hold him there at least long enough till the other cop get the handcuffs on him. I mean, you got 2 cops and 1 guy. The cops are supposed to be trained, in shape. They have to pass a physical to become a cop. But yet, this one man beat up 2 cops quickly, in seconds. And then that it escalated from there because they had to chase him, or thought they had to chase him, whatever. And like I say, all that could have been avoided. They had hands on him, had his back turned to him and everything. It was 2 cops. It really baffled me that happened. The guy wasn't that much bigger than either one of them either. They're all about the same size. So I know size is not everything in a fight at all, but nevertheless, man, as a police officer, I think you should hold ourselves to a higher standard, just like they told us all in the academy. Not only should you be able to take some crap, somebody call you names, whatever, that should just reflect off of your crocodile skin, somebody calling you a sorry SOB, whatever, everything in the world, but a child of God, that you shouldn't let that bother you if you're going to be a cop. If that bothers you, you shouldn't be in law enforcement, in my opinion. But also, you got to be in some physical shape. We got to start running more. We got to hit the gym. My department gives a free gym membership. I worked with Jasper before I got here, and they had a gym in the police department. Thanks to the chief we had, Connie Rowe, I believe, is the one that got that going, or at least she contributed to it a whole lot. But yeah, to me, it's thoroughly embarrassing. I mean, there's cops out here that's been doing it for a long time. They get fat and out of shape. And I'm not even really talking about those guys. I mean, that's almost to be expected. It shouldn't happen. If you're going to be a policeman, you should keep yourself in some decent shape at least. At least running-wise. You should never have a gut hanging over your belt, in my opinion, if you're a cop. That's just my opinion. I know somebody's going to get mad at me for saying that, but I can't believe that's still going on. I just can't believe we have cops out here in that condition. But anyway, I guess that's not for me to really judge, but I guess things can happen. But when it comes to being a brand new officer on the street and you're young, I can't see why you wouldn't want to stay in some kind of shape, because somebody's going to try you eventually. But that's my 3 cents on it all, and I now feel better as I got that off my chest. Dude, thank you so much for tuning in. And in the future, I'm going to try to get out in the field more and move around. I know sitting in the car listening to me talk is entertaining and everything, but we can make these videos better, and I'm going to in the future. But I do appreciate everybody that tunes in and watches and supports the channel, the Facebook page, the Instagram, and everything else. So I really appreciate it. Feel free to check us out on Facebook. We got more shirts available on the Mr. Tactical page. We are all in this together shirts. They're on sale right now for like $19. So if you're interested, check it out. Hit me up, let me know. And I do appreciate it once again. Peace out. I love you, and deuces.